What up, everybody? I don't think I need this. How's it going? How's it going? Which sister are you? Which sister are you? Well, the lady asked you a question. Um, I'm talking about the scene from tonight's Star Trek Picard episode, where I'm still trying to learn the new characters' names. Soji, yeah, confronted that um, when she was confronted with like, which sister are you? Because she's twins. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Welcome to the live review of Star Trek Picard, season 1, episode 3, titled "The End Is the Beginning," directed by Hanel Culpepper and written by Akiva. This episode was written by, let me get this straight, Michael Chabon and James Duff. James Duff is a familiar name for those of us who are fans of uh, the Closer, the Closer series, starring Kara Sedgwick. Love that show. And its spin-off, Major Crimes. That was an awesome show as well. So James Duff, he's the creator of those both shows. So just like with many of my TV reviews where the episodes already aired, you know, which means this review contains spoilers. This review is mainly for those of you, my fellow Star Trek fans, who also stayed up this late at night just to catch this latest episode. Yes, right now is about 12:36 a.m. California time. I'm about to crash any minute now, but I'm hanging on there. All right, let's discuss this episode. Spoiler alert. Um, so that let's get right to the part I want to talk to you guys most about. So it seems that when she's confronted with which sister are you in that scene, um, and one of the guys was captured. The Romulans were attacking Picard Chateau, and luckily Picard's friends were super tough. Holy crap, they could really fight. And they, tied up one of them, and he kept saying to Picard and his buddies, like, you don't know her. Like, she's not who you think she is. Because in Picard's mind, Soji or Saji, I don't know how you pronounce it, she is somebody that needs to be rescued, because Dodge died. And it's like, oh, I gotta find her twin, the other half. And, you know, um, and basically with that confrontation and the revelation from that guy that got tied up, it seems that there may be more to Saji than we think. You know, she may not be all that, like, my theory is, my speculation is, um even she doesn't know it. Even she doesn't realize that she herself could be a dangerous entity. In what way or in what form could she be dangerous? That's still to be determined. But it seems to be suggesting that, that direction. It's headed that way. It's like, oh, there's more to her than meets the eye. And she's not this some girl that just, that Picard needs to locate and save. If you're not careful, there's a side of her that might. So we'll find out for sure. But it seems that this episode is suggesting that. It's suggesting that, hey, she's not all that innocent. Um, but she's hella smart though. Holy crap! By the way, she's so smarter than what's his name? Hugh. Third of five, not three of five. Third of five, right? Yeah. So Hugh's back. I of all the characters that um I guess from Star Trek the Next Generation TV series that they could bring back, I guess you there's an inkling I guess in the back of your head that Hugh might show up, unless you already you guys Star Trek fans already knew ahead of before I do ahead of time about who from the past is gonna make a cameo. I didn't know. So that was refreshing to see Hugh. Um, yeah, and it's played by the same guy, Jonathan. I forgot his name. I apologize. I gotta look him up. He's also on The Closer. So and Major Crimes. He played a morgue doctor there. Anyway, so it's fun to see third of five, and obviously Saji's like just blew his mind. It's like around everything. Like, "Oh, how did you know that? How'd you learn that? Dude, this girl is like, his her intellect, her smartness is like over. It goes way beyond a freaking Borg or former Borg, however you want to depict Hugh. Um, it's like so outsmarting him, and it was just like blowing his mind. That was kind of funny in my opinion. Um, which brings me to my next thing on my note. You know how, just real quick, you know how they made a big deal about, when Patrick Stewart showed up on The View and he kind of invited Whoopi Goldberg openly, publicly, like, hey, would you, I'm paraphrasing, of course, would you want to come back? And then Whoopi Goldberg's like, yes, I accept your invitation. And that was a big deal, right? Everybody, the whole media, the press ran with it. I I have a gut feeling that they probably already filmed a Guinan scene for this season. I'm just speculating. Again, I don't have any inside scoop, but what if that whole, you know, I invite you back thing on The View, what if that was just a theatrics, a theater thing, just a stunt, just to get the buzz even more for Star Trek Picard, because that was like maybe a week before it premiered. Um, But the reality is that she's probably already shot her scene with Picard for this. We don't know what episode. I don't know. I'm just speculating because seeing third of five tonight, I was like, you know what? Maybe Guinan might show up also. Maybe we don't have to wait till season two. Maybe that whole thing on The View was just a stunt. So that's just my theory. But yeah, it was nice to see third of five. Can't wait to see the other guys, Riker, Troy, 7 and 9, everybody else. All right, so the next thing on my note here, r- with regards to the crew. All right, the crew. Let me get the names here. Rafi. Hmm, what's the pilot's name? The pilot he's a tough guy. Rios. Rafi is played by Michelle Hurd. If you saw the Ass versus Evil Dead series, if you saw NBC's Blind Spot, you will recognize Michelle Hurd. She's a fantastic actress. And on this episode, clearly Rafi had, we saw the backstory with Rafi and Picard, and it ended like Picard resigned and Rafi lost her position in the Starfleet. So 14 years, fast forward to today, or not today, but you know what I'm saying. Rafi is still holding that grudge against Picard. And so when Picard comes to Rafi in this episode for help, the whole shtick was like Rafi's like, no, I'm not gonna help you. Like, you never even said hi to me. Never. I mean, like the whole 14 years, you never sent an email. You never sent a text. Fuck you, JL, and she calls him JL. And you know the thing is with these two characters, Rafi and Rios, they're so stereotypical in a way, like Rafi, uh, she goes off to the distance, right? Like, I don't want to be near you. I don't want to see you I don't want to be in the same vicinity as you. Sorry, I don't know why. I need to blow my nose. I'll blow it later. Anyway, uh, and then Picard comes to approach her again, um, and at one point, she's like, "No, I'm not gonna join you." And then she turns to her left, and she lifts her bottle and drinks it. I was just cracking up. It's just like so. I don't know, so stereotypical. Like, yeah, I don't want nothing to do with you. Screw you. And she turns and she drinks it like. Of course, she has to like lift the bottle all up there. Oh man, that's funny. And the same thing with or similar thing with Rios, the pilot. Uh, he reminds us, how stereotypical he is. He's like Han Solo, but with more brute. Like he's got this thing sticking out of his shoulder. Uh, and he's not even in pain. And he's like, yeah, are you gonna hire me or not? And Picard's trying to like analyze him. It's like, oh, you're Starfleet, aren't you? You're like, no, like, stop getting in my head. You gonna hire me or not? Just leave it or take it, kind of thing. Um, and so macho, like the poster boy for masculinity. Definitely reminds me of Han Solo a little bit, even though I don't know. Probably Rios probably does smuggling too, but we'll never we or not that we'll never know, or we don't know yet maybe. But he's a very Han Solo like character, and that's why I said stereotypical. The pilot that so masculine is like, I don't give an F, like, yeah, I'm the best pilot around. Hire me, bitch. uh, I may be exaggerating a little bit there. Um, so it's an interesting set of crews, including Dr. Jurati, played by Alison Pill. Um, by the last shot, we see uh, the spaceship. I don't know the name of it. If you guys have information on what the name of that ship is, please let me know because it looks awesome. I would love to have a merchandise of it. But overall, I think it's a pretty decent episode. It seems that the writers are really taking their time in you know making sure that it's not just like, oh, Picard is gonna go on a mission and off he goes. Obviously, he's having difficulties along the way mending bridges with people from his past or making connection with the people he now just encounters. Um, you would think that because he's Jean-Luc Picard, the legend that he is, that it would carry weight. Like, in the scene in tonight's episode, uh, the uh, the hologram guys, like they say, "Oh my God, Jean-Luc Picard, he did this, this, and this, and this. Why aren't you more excited? Like you should be excited being his pilot." He says something, but you know, eh, but it's not that easy. The writers really want to make sure that Picard um, gets in touch with his skills again of persuading people, you know, negotiating, or Picard I don't know, being human and being really apologetic sometimes. So they're really taking their time in making sure that it's not just like Picard's gonna go on a mission and that's it. It's not that they're making it very very complicated for him, but we get to see Picard using his Picardness, if you will, to convince the characters around him. Hey, I need you. To make sure that this thing happens, and so he has to use his listening skills, his persuasion skills, and everything that we love, all the qualities that we love about Picard in Star Trek: The Next Generation. He has to tap into that again now, for this purpose of getting the people to come together to help him. Obviously, if you've seen the preview for next week's episode, it seems that he has to do that again with some other characters. It seems like it, but we'll definitely see that. But also, the writers did a good job of planting the seed when it comes to Rafi and Rios. This is a formula that's obviously done in TV many times. It's not really a new thing, but you could tell, at least for me, when Rios said, the pilot, the guy who looks like, or who behaves like Han Solo, when he's like, "Hey, so what if he's Jean-Luc Picard?" I'm paraphrasing, of course. So what if he's a legend? Like the last time I piloted a legend, he said very briefly, like, "Oh yeah, I got his blood on me." I was like, "He's dead." The last person I look up to, he's dead. Like, so, and then Rafi also with his past with Jean-Luc Picard. So the seed that I'm talking about is that it makes me wonder or curious to see what happened there. Who is this guy that Rios was talking about? Are we gonna get maybe a flashback, maybe an episode dedicated to that backstory? The same thing with Rafi, right? Because um, those 14 years that she was away from Picard, um, I'd like to see that too, or maybe that moment, like where she got kicked out of the Starfleet. Like we didn't get to see that. So there's this little seed that the writers plant here and there for these two characters that make you wanna, at least for me, it manages to capture my curiosity. So it's not a new formula. It's one that Star Trek franchise has used or has done many times. But it's really well placed, at least in my opinion, in today's episode. So I can't wait. I can't wait for next week. Next week is episode 4. Oh man, it's midnight. Time to go to bed. Another fantastic episode. What did you guys think about tonight's episode? Are there any parts about it that you did not like? Any criticisms at all? Any observation about it that I may have overlooked, perhaps? Uh, share them. Share them, in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe to my channel, press that like button, and ring that bell. And if you can help support me, help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/frommascreen. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Yeah, Q, Guinan, Wesley, bring back everybody, man. The more the merrier. Let's rock this.